This is Alan Wake 2. We're here on Xbox Series S. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So I decided to wait a bit to jump into the Series S version of Alan Wake 2. I covered the Series X version, which had some technical bugs and whatnot that held it back from being a pretty perfect experience. So I thought, hey, now that they've done some updates, improved some things, let's dive in and take a look at the game on the Series S side of things. So what are we getting here? It's 720p internally. That is like temporarily upscaled to 1440p at 30 FPS. Motion blur and film grain options are present. And unlike the Series X version of the game, we don't have any other performance mode options. So it is sort of like you get this version and that is about it. It uses FSR, and that is the AMD resolution scaling technology, and you can definitely tell that that is a lot more present on the Series S side of things, as the environment is much more fuzzy and blurry. Now, with that, you do get the full sense of like scale and geometry. The character models do look pretty good. But yeah, if you are coming off of like the higher visual setting, it is quite a bit of a fidelity drop. And then obviously also having the performance, like the frame rate being lower, is also something that's very present. Because with the Series X version I played in performance mode, I thought that still looked pretty good. And then, if you really want to bump it up, going into like the quality mode there, the fidelity option, really showcased how good this game can look. But regardless, it is nice to be here taking a look at Alan Wake 2. As I've kind of mentioned in the past, it was a long wait, basically 13 years of waiting, which the game itself references many times. And it was well worth the wait to actually get this really great experience, because it's excellent. It really genuinely is an excellent experience. So you play two perspectives, really. Saga here is kind of the main character, strangely enough, even though it is a game called Alan Wake 2. So that was a little disappointing, because it takes like a couple hours before Alan Wake appears, and like a few hours before you even get to see Alan Wake's perspective. So yeah, it would have been nice to have more time with Alan Wake. It kind of gets a bit equal, but yeah, I would have liked more time with Alan Wake for sure. But it does continue the story well. It does set up some new interesting things. It's part of the greater Remedy universe, and it does directly tie into like Control and whatnot, if you're familiar with that game. And then Control 2 is being worked on, so that'll fit into there too. Even if if you're a fan of like the Remedy games, which I'm a huge fan of, some characters are very reminiscent of that. Like, maybe right there, kind of a little bit of a Max Payne-like character, some would say. Just like the other guy here might be a little reminiscent of someone from Quantum Break. His name is Tim Breaker and whatnot, which is kind of funny. But there's tons of references, deep, emotional segments and setups. It's a very well done follow-up to a game from many years ago. It dives into like the idea of you investigating this cult, and you're trying to figure out what exactly happens. See, there's Tim Breaker over there, and then obviously the other dude right beside him is very clearly Max Payne, which it's just kind of funny. But yeah, it's a genuinely intriguing game of investigation, discovery. It's lengthy, it's full of like puzzles, and now that they've kind of cleaned up some of the technical bugs, it is a lot easier to be like, hey, this is really close to a near perfect experience and sort of like a must-play game. I would personally quite say play this on a kind of experience that is a higher resolution, because I feel like you are missing out on what is such a beautiful game. Like, it's not bad on the Series S by any means. Like, it's actually kind of impressive here on the Series S, but it is I feel like you miss out a little bit just because of the technical element of things. So this is like your mind board. So as this individual here, Saga, you have a mind board where you are kind of figuring out clues and trying to understand what exactly is happening. You're kind of like, to a degree, solving type murder things, and Alan Wake has his own set of like abilities, if that makes sense. Like he has his own kind of equivalent mind board, and that is sort of the thing, is basically these two perspectives, these two characters, how they tie into each other. And it is a horror story. It is, you know, an experience that is dark and creepy and maybe a little bit scary at times. I still think it leans heavily into what is a psychological thriller, but you know, it definitely is on brand with the universe of Remedy, and it continues to showcase their ever improving technology and stuff like that. Oh, there's one of the pages of the book, the manuscript. I'm Alan Wake. I'm a writer. But yeah, these aspects of this on the Series S are impressive. These cutscenes and stuff like this are very good. Like, this game is super impressive because it blends mediums. Like, it blends the concept of basically TV, film, and game, kind of overlaying them, using them in different sequences. It's remarkable. And the use of music and the technology, it is such an impressive game. It really genuinely is. It's pure Remedy action, it's pure great gameplay. It's got an incredible narrative, great setup. And you know what? It's very technologically pushing. There were some times where I was kind of like, puzzles could have been a little bit more like direction as to what I was doing. But like, for the most part, I just kind of went through it. I didn't have too many issues. It was fun, it was engaging, it was a true Remedy title. Full of twists, turns, and some shocking moments as we just try to figure out what exactly is going on, what is happening, you know, and basically what the stakes are as well. Is it just gets like really, really genuinely crazy. Like, this game has some amazing bits to it, great character development, amazing character performances too. Just the way the characters just kind of move and react and look at things is very, very well done. I praise this game highly. You know, it's a lot of expectations to live up to something that is like, you know, 13 years gone, right? It's kind of amazing and very, very difficult to actually like hold up to that standards. And I think this one really did an amazing job of actually doing just that. There were some issues too with like, scaling of like difficulty stuff when it comes to like resources and whatnot, as I did find it semi-challenging to get some resources in some situations. But, you know, if you do go through areas and you do take time afterwards to look around, you are rewarded with neat extras and type like collectible type things, and they do expand the story a fair bit. It's really, really interesting. I think they did a very, very good job of... I flick the switch, it goes click. They did a really, really good job of bringing back this game, honestly. I missed Alan Wake quite a bit. It's a story I've always wanted to see continue. It's a story I was a little... Oh, no. A story I was a little surprised didn't get love and support sooner, which was a little disappointing. But that's not how the story goes. It could be, though. I don't know, it's intriguing. It really is. Like, it's very worth your time. Really? Oh yeah, and some of the checkpoints weren't the best either. I remember that. Yeah, some of the checkpoints were like a little questionable on things. But I think overall, on the Series S, it's like pretty worthwhile time. And I think you'll have a lot of fun playing this game and really enjoying what it has to offer. As long as you don't get your characters killed. That is so funny, because it's brutal too. But yeah, it's a great game. It's highly, highly recommended for me. And I think, you know, them kind of smoothing some things out, like it'd be great to have a scene select. New Game Plus is coming. So they are working on it. They are supporting it. And I can't wait to see the full scale of this one when, you know, they're done and everything is passed, because there is content coming like DLC.